System maintenance.
Hello students, I am Raglan Royal from a computer science and engineering department of a GEMS Polytechnic College. Today in this video, we are going to see about the components of the motherboard. In this video, we will see in detail about the different components of the motherboard and its functions. So, first of all, that we are going to see about the motherboard, what are the different components that motherboard has. A motherboard consists of various components that have their own role to play while functioning the PC. Different components in a motherboard that play a different role, a unique role while functioning the PC. The first component we are going to see about the expansion slots. The expansion slot, as the name, they are used to expand the of insert sound card, Wi-Fi card or a network card and VRAM. Expansion slot, the name, it's declare that expansion means we extend the features or a functionality with inserting or inputting some cards or external drives in the motherboard to improve the function of the motherboard. So it has different types of expansion slots. So we will see that's all later in detail. And second is CPU. That's called Central Processing Unit. The main motherboard component is CPU socket, which is used to install the processor on the motherboard. CPU means Central Processing Unit. It is a small chip that is mounted in a CPU socket that present in a motherboard. Without CPU socket, we can't insert a Central Processing Unit chip. So CPU socket is a main component in a motherboard. So Central Processing Unit, the different Central Processing Unit have chip has different sizes, different pins. So different slots are there for different motherboard. So in common, the Central Processing Unit is a main processor. This is an electronic circuitry within a computer that execute instruction that makes up a computer program. The CPU performs basic arithmetical, logical and controlling and input-output operation specified by the instruction in a program. The form, design and implementation of a CPU have changed over the course of their history. Means at the time change, the implementation of a CPU have changed. Its designs also change, its performance also changed, but their fundamental operations remains almost unchanged. Means what is the purpose of the CPU does remain unchanged. Means it is the same. It function in a previous computer, in a previous motherboard, in a early times processor. The same function the processor do now also. The principal components of a CPU includes the arithmetical logical unit that performs arithmetical logical operation, processor register that supply operands to the ALU and store the result of ALU operation. Most modern CPUs are microprocessor, where the CPU is contained on a single metal oxide semiconductor that is called MOS or integrated circuit. There are different types of CPU sockets. Different CPU sockets have different pins because different processor have upgraded with a more pins. Time to time, the pins in a CPU chip is increased We will all see it later. And the third component is a BIOS. The BIOS is a basic input-output system. The basic input-output system means it is a motherboard component in the form of an integrated chip. This chip contains all the information and setting of the motherboard, which you can modify by entering the BIOS mode from your computer. We can say that BIOS is firmware used to perform hardware initialization during the booting process and to provide runtime service for operating system and program. The BIOS firmware comes pre-installed on a personal computer system board. It means it is already installed when we buy the motherboard or a system board. And BIOS is the first software to run when power on. Means when we power on the system, the first software that runs on a computer is a BIOS, that is basic input output system. So, most important startup programs are a BIOS. BIOS is the built-in core processor software responsible for booting the system, because the basic components that embedded into a computer motherboard that is function by a BIOS, because it receive or send the data or the function that what the embedded system how to work is a BIOS. It takes the control first when the power on and hand over the all the controls to the OS. When we say what is a function of a BIOS, means BIOS is a primary function is to handle a system setup process including driver loading and operating system booting. It helps to boot an operating system. BIOS set up the computer and boot the operating system. Next is CMOS. We all know or heard about the CMOS battery. Then what is it? CMOS battery or cell is a 3 volt lithium ion battery button cell. The cell is responsible for storing the information in BIOS and the full form of complementary metal oxide semiconductor. The code of a CMOS battery that we are here looking in this picture is CR2032. When we go and ask for CMOS battery, most of the shopkeepers don't know what is CMOS battery. So when we say the button cell and we say CR2032, they will find easy to find the type of battery that we need. So CMOS is normally called complementary metal oxide semiconductor, and is also known as complementary symmetry metal oxide semiconductor. It is a type of metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor fabrication process that uses complementary and symmetrical pairs of p-type and n-type of MOSFETs for logical function. The CMOS technology is used for constructing integrated circuit, generally we called IC chip, including microprocessor, microcontrollers, memory chips, and other digital logic circuits, and replaced earlier transistor logic, means TTL technology. Next is power connector. We know that motherboard need power to run, or components of a motherboard need power to function because it is an electronic chipboard. Without electricity it can't run because it needs power to run. So in previous video, in my description of motherboard video, we have seen the different types of motherboard. So there is a two types of power connectors that we used or we are using. The first is AT connector, which is used to come in AT motherboard, which was the first motherboard. The AT motherboard consists of two numbers of 6 male pin connectors and is found on all types of motherboard. As I told you before, AT connector is a early motherboard that we were used before, not nowadays. In that video that I have shown you about the 6 male pin, that power connector that in the AT motherboard. But nowadays we are maximum the users use ATX motherboard. So it has ATX connector, the latest in the series of power connectors. They have either 20 or 24 pin female connectors found in all the latest types of motherboard. Now all the desktop computers have a 20 or 24 pin female connectors. It has a different power slot. So there are two types of power connector that are used, but AT connectors that we don't use nowadays, but ATX connector are still in use. Next is IDE connector. IDE connector is the integrated drive electronics. The IDE connectors are used to interface disk drives. Means in older motherboards or some motherboards now also come with IDE connectors, not all modern motherboards, but the ATX that before the latest technology motherboard that were used IDE connectors to connect the various hard disk drive or floppy disk drives and CD drives to connect to the motherboard. So IDE connector have 40 pin male connector. It used to connect IDE hard disk drive. Means 40 pin male connector is used to connect hard disk. And it also have a 34 pin male connector that is used to connect floppy disks or CD drive disks. Here we can see that how the slot is look like and how the port is look like. Here we see that 34 pin or 40 pin male connectors are here, which is inserted by or connected like this belt, which has too many female ports. The left one has 34 pins and right one has 40 pins. And next is SATA connectors. SATA are 7 pin connectors and they are much faster than IDE interface. SATA cables are long, both ends are flat and thin as shown in this figure, with one often made at a 90 degree, with one often made at a 90 degree angle for better cable management. One end is plug into a port on the motherboard usually labeled SATA and the other into a back of a storage device like a SATA hard drive. Now we will see about the expansion slots. The first one is a ISA slot. These were the oldest expansion slot in the history of the motherboard. They were found in 80 boards and are identified by a black color. The ISA full form is Industry Standard Architecture. This ISA slot is the 16-bit internal bus of IBM PC or AT and similar computer based on the Intel 80286 and its immediate successor during the 1980s. The bus was backward compatible with the 8-bit bus of the 8088 based IBM PC. What is the function of an ISA slot? ISA was designed to connect peripheral cards to the motherboard and allows for bus mastering. While the first 16 MB of main memory is addressable, the other 8-bit bus ran from the 4.77 MHz clock of the 8088 CPU in the IBM PC. Second is a PCI slot. PCI is a peripheral component interconnect. The full form. The PCI slot is one of the important motherboard components today and is vastly used to install add-on cards on the motherboard. The PCI is a local computer bus for attaching hardware devices in a computer and is part of a PCI local bus standard. The PCI bus supports the function found on a processor bus but in a standardized form and is independent of any particular processor's native bus. The PCI supports 60-bit of high-speed bus. PCI is a hardware bus used for adding internal components to the desktop computer. It means we can provide additional input-output ports on the back of a computer. Next is PCI Express slot. These are the latest and the fastest component of the motherboard to support add-on cards. PCI is a peripheral component interconnect express slot. It is an interface standard for connecting high-speed components. Every desktop PC motherboard has a number of PCIe slot you can use to add GPUs, means graphics cards, RAID cards, Wi-Fi cards or SSDs, solid state drives, add-on cards. If I say PCI Express slots are able to insert a variety of cards like SATA, operation cards, video capturing, sounds card, network cards, Bluetooth cards, additional for extending the features of the motherboard. It means it supports full duplex serial bus. Means it can transfer a data in a serial manner. It is a serial bus. Next is AGP slot. AGP full form is Accelerated Graphics Port. It is specifically used to install the latest graphics card. The Accelerated Graphics Port was designed as a high-speed point-to-point channel for attaching a video card to a computer system, primarily to assist in the acceleration of 3D computer graphics. It was originally designed as a successor to PCI-type connections for video cards. It is look like as shown in this picture. This is a AGP slot. Next is SIM, that is Single Inline Memory Module. These slots were found in older motherboards up to 486 boards. A SIM is a type of memory module containing random access memory used in computers from the early 1980s to the late 1990s. It differs from a dual inline memory module, the most predominant form of memory modules today, in that the contact on the SIM are redundant on both sides of a module. The SIM supports 32 bits of bus. It actually look like a RAM slot. And second is DIMM slot. That is double inline memory module. This DIMM slot, these are the latest RAM slot which runs on a faster 64-bit bus. Means now in a modern motherboards that DIMM slots are used. The DIMM slots which are used on laptop boards are called SODIMMs. The DIMM and SIMs are two major types of random access memory standard for personal computers. DIMM is an acronym for dual inline memory module, while SIM stand for single inline memory module. The naming of each type of RAM refers to the specific way in which the memory is packaged. The first, SIM, is used to hold a group of memory chips in a small circuit board. Typically, SIMs holds up to 8 or 9 RAM chips. And DIMM are the modern slots that we know that is runs on a faster 64-bit bus, or now 128 bits bus also coming. Next we will see about the CPU. Different motherboards have different types of CPU sockets. The first is called the socket 7. It is a 321 pin socket that supported older processors like Intel Pentium 1, 2, MMX, AMD processor K5 or K6 and Cyrix M2. This is a very low numbers of pin that the very first processor had. After that, upgradation happened and the number of pins were increased. So after the socket 7, socket 370 came. Means it is a 370 pin socket that supports Celeron processor and Pentium 3 processor. Means it is an upgrade of Pentium 1 and 2 and that type of Intel Pentium processor. And after that, socket 775 came. It has 775 pin socket that supports Intel dual core processor, Core 2 Duo processor, Pentium 4 processor and Xeon processors. These are the latest processor that came after the Pentium 3 processors. And after 775 processor socket, 1156 found this type of socket also found in the latest types of motherboard that today also we use. It is an having 1156 pin socket that support the latest Intel i3, i5 and i7 processor. Means all the modern motherboard having this number of pin in normally. And one more socket upgraded of 1156 socket came, that is 1366 socket. The socket is of 1366 pins and support the latest i7 a 9900K processor, means it is a high-end socket that supports the very latest processor that has 1366 pins. Means it's only support the i7 processor that have a latest high speed processing. And function that it function of a CPU is here in a diagram that we show, that the processor that has a register combinational logic, that it has input, that input will go through the processor, and then process will connect to the main memory, and also the processor connected to the control memory, and all the instructions from the main memory are went to control unit, and from processor the instructions were sent to control unit and main memory. And after that, all the function when happened inside the processor, then the output came. The unit take and give the output, and the processor also take and give the output. And after that, we see the design, the CPU form design. The form design and implementation of CPU have changed over the course of their history, but their fundamental operation remain almost unchanged. Principal components of a CPU includes the arithmetical logical unit that performs arithmetical and logical operation, processor and register that supply operands to the ALU and store the result of ALU operation. Means it is this process, the function that the user gives to the CPU is converts the logical, is handle the logical and arithmetical operation and converts the user language into the binary language. This is the CPU socket that we use first. This has have a 135 321 pins, and here is the CPU chip that will be inserted in the port like this. Now we see about the switches and jumpers. This method commonly used to set hardware option on PCs and peripherals. Although they look different, jumpers and DIP switches perform the same function. It allows you to make or break a single electrical connection, which is used to configure one aspect of a component. We see like jumpers and switch are look like this as shown in figure. The DIP, its full form is dual inline package. DIP switches are small electronic switches found on the circuit board that can be turned on or off just like a normal switch. How we switch on or off the normal switch is look like that only, and it function also similar like that switch. They are very small and so are usually flipped with the pointed object such as the tip of screwdriver, a bent paper clip or a pen top. Take care when cleaning near DIP switches as some solvent may destroy them. DIP switches are obsolete and you will not find them in a modern system. Means now in modern system the DIP switches are modified into this like a chip, and it doesn't have a switch on it. It functions automatically. And second is the jumper pin. A jumper pin are small protruding pin on the motherboard. A jumper cap or a bridge is used to connect or short a pair of jumper pins. When a bridge is connected to any two pins via a shorting link, it completes the circuit and a certain configuration has been achieved. The jumper pins are look like this. It used to short the two pins or to connect the electrical circuit between the two pins without any problem. The jumper pins is also used for driver password to short the circuit for resetting the driver password. And second is, after that, the jumper cap. It looks similar as a jumper pin. The jumper caps are metal bridge that close an electrical circuit. Typically, a jumper consists of a plastic plug that fits over a pair of a protruding pin. Jumpers are sometimes used to configure expansion boards. By placing a jumper plug over a different set of pins, you can change a board parameters. The jumper caps are look like this. This is commonly used in motherboard to configure expansion board or to close the circuit. So in this video we have seen about the different components of the motherboard and what are the function of the different types of components in a motherboard. Thank you.